Hey everybody, how's it going? Chuck here. Okay, as you can probably pretty well tell, this is not the Jeep. This is for the Mustang fans. I'm taking her with my pony today. My dilemma is, this is where my heater hose goes for going into the heater core for heat. Alright, as we all know, this time of year it's starting to get a little chilly, and I still ain't got this thing fired up yet. So when I fire it up, I want heat. And yes, you can tell probably the camera's shaking because I'm holding it. It's chilly out here. But anyway, the problem of it is that distributor. That distributor is actually the top end is designed for a GM distributor cap. Coil built in, ignition system, module right here. One of the sweetest ignition systems made for vehicles, pretty much. You can buy them now with conversion bases for Chryslers, Fords, or whatever. So this is going into a small block Ford. It's a 302 block. And so got the conversion base to go into that for a GM top, but it comes out so far that the factory hose fitting here, let's talk about to say somehow or another, it ain't shaking so bad. The factory, this is where the factory hose went for the heater core. It hit the bottom of the distributor. So rummaging through some stuff at the local True Value place, I found this. Okay, it's still a little bit too tall, by a little bit. But up inside there, if you look where it was machined, I think I can take some metal off its backside right here, just enough for it to clear. So I'm fixing to grab my grinder and do a little grinding, see if we can make this thing work. I think I can do it. Anyway, I'm gonna get my grinder, take some metal off. Okay, you can see I've taken some metal off. I've notched the backside of it out right through there. And if you also notice and look real close, see that ring right there? I cut it off the bottom of that too. I had to take that much metal off this fitting to get it to drop low enough for a distributor base to clear. Now mind you, it looks like it's got a ton of clearance. I didn't have to take off that much, but the distributor's got about another 1/4 inch for it to. The distributor's got about another 1/4 inch for it to completely drop. So that's about right where I need. It's going to give it just enough clearance to be able to adjust everything. That way I can move it back and forth, do what I need to do with it. So, let me show you guys how I derived on how much material I was allowed to take out. Okay, as we well know, if you take off too much metal on any type of object, whatever, you can get, especially dealing with cars, port and polishing head risks. If you're doing too much, taking too much material out of the inside the ports, you get into a water jacket, you just made a junk head. In this case, if I was to be taking too much metal out of here, cut inside there, well, at least this is cheaper than buying another cylinder head, but still it will be junk. So here's what I do. Calipers. If you notice down inside there, you can see the steps as to where they machined everything, where the bit stopped at. And right there, you can see inside there where the milling head stopped at, that step way down there. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to run this out. And you stop it till this, where's the camera at? You stop it till this right here hits on that machine step at the bottom. Then you let this come down until it sits right on that seat. You look at it, 0.993. Alright. Let's lock this out. Not that the 993 really matters too much. Then you take this here and just kind of go back and forth, which will kind of scribe you a line a bit. You got to kind of look for it. I'm sure the camera won't pick it up. Right there. But you can see the blue here where I'd already marked it. So you can use a Sharpie marker, whatever. This is kind of like a Sharpie marker. What it actually is a... If you ever go to the doctor, or a doctor, they do tests on you, they take a little marker and, you know, mark places on your body where they put the electrodes. That's what this is. It's a skin marker. I used to work VIT support for a hospital, so that was a whole big box that got thrown away. So I got them. Okay, so next what you do, same thing on his side. Back off my lock. Come down to the bottom side, right there, boom, stop it. 688, again, not that dimension matters a whole heck of a lot, but then you take this side, and describe your line, which is about right there. Camera, I can barely see it, so I know the camera ain't seeing it. Then just kind of play connected dots, because down inside there is a 90-degree intersection where the two milling heads hit. So as long as you stay pretty much inside that blue area, you're safe. Give material inside that blue area. I mean, probably at least eighth inch or a little better inside that blue, and you're pretty well safe. So that's how I come up with how far I'm allowed to cut, which I can actually bring this down deeper, but I don't have to. And especially since I went ahead and hacked the bottom of this off. So that's how I did that. Alright, before I start screwing these parts in, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of what parts I'm using to do this with. You know, I was on one of the Mustang forums last night looking at how people got around this issue. What I discovered was people using the trick flow intakes and the lower intakes off of, I think it was either lower Cobra intakes and a few things like that, where the fuel injection rails were too close to the water output. So some people had different solutions for this and that. Well, this is my solution here. So this right here is a 90-degree half-inch pipe. This is half-inch MPT, half-inch MPT on both ends, 90-degree elbow. The cast iron, I didn't like it because there wasn't enough material up inside there for me to be able to grind out. I was afraid it just was not going to work. So, besides, it's prettier. This half-inch NPT, which is going to go up inside here like this to put your heater hose on. So that's half-inch NPT to a 5/8 here, but you can get them a 5/8 or half-inch either way, whichever way you run your hoses, your heater hose. And this is a half-inch pipe thread, NPT, half-inch NPT, close nipple. So therefore this is going to run up inside there, like so. And once I clean the threads up, then this is going to go inside there like that. And I may have to shorten this nipple down quite a bit because I need this to sit flush on the intake to give me enough clearance. So I still may have to do some hacking to this right here, but I just want to give you guys a rundown of what parts I'm using. Now, for you true Ford fans that knows how the water systems work, you're going to think, wait a minute, that end is going to be too big. The inside orifice of this right here. If you get about 3,000 RPM with your drag race and you stomp at loud pedal and you got them RPMs cranking, you got water flow going through the heater hoses, all of a sudden you dump water in your floorboard because you've done blown your heater core's guts out because of too much water pressure going through. The solution I did is that. So I got one in my pocket. Right here, which is just a bushing. A lot of times when you put in aftermarket gauges, this little bushing comes with it that you can screw this in, then you put your other fitting inside here. Just a bushing, reducer bushing is all it boils down to. What I did, these little hex right here, little by little by little, I went around and ground them off. Not completely, just enough to where I put it down inside here and took a the back end of a 1/4 inch extension, laid it on top of it, and just tapped it. It press fit right inside there, just as sweet as it can be. So you want to restrict this down some so your heater core does not get so much pressure. And if this right here is not enough, if this right here is too tight, you can always put it in a drill press and open it up a little by little until you get what you need. But you don't want it too big because you will get too much pressure going into your heater core and they'll blow your heater core all to pieces. So basically, it's just one of these little bushings like this that fit up inside there, but it's too big to go inside here. I believe that's like a 3/8 to 1/4 inch MPT, I believe is what that bushing is. But just go through here just on a grinder or file or whatever you got to do. Here, here, here. Just run the hex and knock off that peak on the hex until it just fits tight inside there. Then take an extension and a hammer and peck it and drive it down inside there. Pretty easy fix. Okay, if you guys notice the lights changed a little bit out here, it's because it's dark. But here's what's up. Alright, I showed you guys in that one shot that I got this right here all modified, hacked up, stuff like that. And then I put the MPT fitting. It's a 1/2 inch closed nipple up inside there, ran it all the way up inside there, and discovered, okay, it's a little bit too long for the hole back there. Okay, so I cut part of the nipple off to shorten it. Okay, that sounds logical, doesn't it? But I had a total brain fart. MPT thread is done at an angle. Let's see. Let me find something here. Let's say, for instance, it's fitting right here. This is MPT, but I mean, the camera's not really going to pick it up. But most of your bolts, the threads are straight. I mean, if you lay a straight edge across all the top of these right here, a standard bolt is parallel from this side to this side. Metric or standard, no 3/8, quarter inch, whatever. From here and over here on this side, they're parallel to each other. MPT threads are not. They're actually at an angle. They kind of pitch at an angle, this like this, and the other side they're pitching it, kind of forming kind of a funnel shape, I guess you might say. So what happens is, and what I've done, I was not even thinking. I've done this so many times, and I just wasn't thinking. That whenever I cut the threads off that closed nipple, when I cut way up here, the diameter is actually larger in the threads up here than it is down here because it is kind of funnel shaped. Well, when I did that, now I tried to screw it into here, it would not go, and I'm getting all irritated, frustrated, and all that stuff. And then it dawned on me, duh, Chuck, this stuff is at an angle. See, there's the part I cut off. Whenever you cut off that much, you've actually changed the pitch quite a bit. From the diameter out here on this end to the diameter to here, it's actually changed enough that back there was an issue with getting the threads to start. So when I figured out what I'd done, I said, Chuck, you're an idiot. So I ran back to the hardware store. Of course, the first one I go to, they close early. So I just ran to the local Lowe's and got to rummaging through their crap to get some more closed nipples, and I discovered something. I found this. So I'm going to use this instead of that other hack job stuff I come up with. This is 1/2 inch MPT. Again, it's at a taper, just like I told you a moment ago. I'm doing the best I can with the light here, people. It does taper, so it's going to work just right for that. This is a flare-in fitting. Okay, I'm not going to use metal tubing or flaring, anything like that, but I am going to use my regular 5/8 heater hose. You can do that. It's not easy to cram that heater hose up on these threads, but one thing you can bet your bottom dollar, they're not going to come off. Trying to think, one of the cars I've had before, I don't remember which one it was. It's either, I had a V8 S10, I had V8 GMC S15, and it had a built small block. Either that one or one of the other was actually used hose pipe nipple like that, and it worked just fine, never had no issues. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Now right now, if you look, I've got the distributor. If I get the light in here right. What am I looking at? Okay, people, I'm looking through the camera trying to figure out what I'm seeing. Okay, alright, distributor is sitting all the way down on the block, so which means that's as far as it's going to go. But clearance between here is what it is now. That is all I need. So if you notice, okay, let me flip this upside down. I've got plenty of thread that I can run this down inside there and still have plenty of clearance for the base of the distributor. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to put some thread tape on this right here and run that baby on down there. Cross my fingers, hope it works, because I want this thing up and running. Because when I get this thing up and running, I'm going to get ready to do the lift kit on my Jeep. My Jeep's my daily driver, so I got to have another daily driver so I can tear the Jeep apart. I'm ready to do my lift. I haven't got the parts yet. No need to get in the parts if I ain't got something else to drive. So I got to get my pony going. Alright everybody, there she is. In position, distributor's dropped down all the way down, as far as it can go. And I have airspace. So that is going to work. Now, like I said, your 5/8 heater hose going on here, it's a fit. It's a tight fit. But it does work. I've run it on other cars before. And I wish I'd found this piece right here. That would probably save me about, I don't know, $14 in other brass I can't use now, or that I've already destroyed. But hey, lesson learned. But yep, use that right there. And all you guys that's running the trick flow intakes on your fuel injected Mustangs, you might want to try that, see if that works for you. What this is, just a 90-degree elbow, 1/2 inch compression on this side, 1/2 inch pipe thread on this end. 1/2 inch compression, 1/2 inch pipe thread. So try it out, see if it works for you. I'm a happy camper now. I can set my distributor all the way in like I'm supposed to, and I'm going to get ready to start wiring this baby up. You can't see the metal flake in my powder coat. Now, if you guys ask any questions about the paint, that is not Krylon or anything like that. That's all powder. I powder coat my own parts. So, anyway, so we can get up here and see the air gap. Yeah, there's air. So there it is, everybody. I can now continue on with running my water. Oh, one thing about that too is that being a compression fitting, if I want to later order me some aluminum tubing and flare it, I can screw it under right there and run me some nice pretty aluminum tubing around the side of the motor and make it look all fancy and pretty and stuff. So anyway, I know this really didn't have anything to do with the Jeep for you Jeep fans, but think of it this way. This is a little bit of backyard engineering here, redneck engineering as I sometimes call it, that you just have to do to make things work. And it doesn't matter if it's a Ford Mustang, if it's a Jeep Wrangler, or if it's a, I used to have a Dodge Charger, and see there's my S10. I've done all kinds of things that really shouldn't fit where I put them, but hey, that's all part of cranking wrenches. If you're going to modify something, get ready to do some real modifications. Sometimes you just have to improvise, and that's more so what this is all about. Think outside the box. Just because the factory did it doesn't mean that you have to put it back the way the factory did it. Sometimes you got to improvise to make things work. Hey everybody, look. See right there? See right there? That's my little YJ. Look at those eyes. She's pissed because I'm not working on her. But she would just only realize that I'm getting the Mustang together so I have another daily driver long enough to do the lift kit. That's right. I've mentioned a couple times in some of the videos that I'm going to do a junkyard style lift. I'm going to go rob the leaf springs out of another truck and do a junkyard style lift. So I can show you guys you can lift a YJ and do it on the cheap. So if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. And all you Mustang crew out there, if you catch all this video, let me know what you guys did to, modify for your TFS, your trick flow intakes, or your Cobra lowers and stuff like that you're having problems with. This thing may eventually be fuel injected, but for right now I'm running the Edelbrock air gap on it. It runs like a scalded cat, so I can't really complain with it. So yeah, you guys, comment down below some of the things that you've had to do just to modify to make things work. Sometimes you got to step outside the box. So everyone, if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And remember, hey, if this helped you out a lot, share it. Google, Facebook, Google Plus, that is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm sure there's some other things I'm forgetting, but yeah, share it out. Share the knowledge. And let's see. Yeah, most of all, one of the things that's always the most important, I want you guys out there in YouTube land, have yourself a great day. Peace out. Peace. Yeah. Later. I got it right. Anyway, heck, you guys know what I'm saying. Later. That's peace.